Now from the University of Okoboji, it's Okoboji Broadcast with Jeff Thee.
Welcome to Okoboji Broadcast, everybody. I'm Jeff Thee, and here with me today are Women of Action in the Lakes area. Kris Walker is here with us today, and Kris, welcome. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I wanted to talk to you about, as a woman in action here in the Lakes area. You've been involved in so many things over the years with your business, Walker Insurance Agency, but you know, when I think of the amount of time you've been in business and when you would have come into business in the Lakes area, I got to think it was probably a man's world back then. And very much so. But before we get going on that, a little bit, I know part of your history because we both spawned from the same waters over in Algona,
That's
Iowa.
Right.
Yeah.
Same schools. You're a little younger.
Just a little. Just a little. But so you graduated from Algona High.
Right. And you know, after college, one of the first jobs I had, because I went back to Algona. You know, what am I going to do with myself? So I went back to Algona, and they had that wonderful, wonderful insurance company, and it was called Druggist Mutual. Well,
remember it well.
Fortunately, they changed that name, Pharmacist Mutual, but much later.
But
when I worked there, it was still Druggist Mutual.
Yeah.
And that's how I got my foot in the door, because insurance wasn't like, you don't think, oh, gee, I want to grow up and be an insurance agent.
Yeah.
You should, though. You should. It's very fun, and it's exciting, and it's never dull.
Yeah.
So, I started out there.
Okay.
And I can remember, just as, although I do want to thank you for having me today and not yesterday on history.
Oh.
Anyhow, we, when computers first came in, speaking of it being a man's world.
Yeah.
So very much, there was this section where the women kind of were and the men had offices and the women didn't.
And they didn't.
No. And maybe one. I don't know, even. And they got computer. Oh, my gosh. And it was in a great big room, and the room was glassed in, and like 3 people were allowed in, and they wore static-free coats and these little static slippers over their shoes. And it took up a whole wall, and it was supposed to be, the end-all, be-all of greatness.
So was this, the big computers, like your...
yeah.
And with, they had the reels on them, and it's that sort of thing? Okay.
That was the one.
So I can see why they had the static-free slippers and everything. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
But
my first promotion was to auto insurance rater.
Okay.
Big deal. Everything by hand. Get out the manuals, look up the cars, look up the VIN numbers, look up slide,
Yeah.
Yeah, everything by hand.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do you go from working in the insurance agency in Algona
to up here?
To the Lakes area?
Well, love.
What is Ron, your husband? Is he from the Lakes area originally?
He is,
okay.
right.
So you met...
yeah. Ron, and that's what brought me up here.
Okay.
And I always lived here every summer, but...
All right, so is that where you kind of met? You were up here in the summer? And was he with the city of Arnold's Park at that time?
Right, out of college. Actually, he has his master's in wildlife and fisheries, but he wound up moving up here and got a job as assistant manager at the amusement park.
Oh.
And then the city needed someone. He was supposed to just interim help them out. Yeah.
How many years ago?
I don't know, 38 years later.
That's a long interim service there, yeah. But I didn't know that he had worked at the amusement park.
Yep. So and then I worked for a couple different agencies, and then I worked for Lakes National Bank Agency for 10 years, and then I bought that agency.
Okay, and that was my next question. I didn't know if you
in 95.
made Walker Insurance out of nothing, or if you purchased one that was existing.
Right. It was a small agency there, and then I bought that agency, and then I bought the building on the highway and moved over there in 95, I forget.
Okay,
something like that.
So somewhere in there.
Yeah, maybe 2000 hit. I don't know. But and I think we have great people at my office. Yeah. We've got Joe Loring. He's a CIC, Certified Insurance Counselor, and then we have got Tammy Klein, and she is a CICR, and then we've got Jen and Youngsworth and myself, all licensed agents.
Right.
3 of us are licensed in several things, and so very educated. That, I think, in our office we always laugh because we call ourselves the insurance nerds, especially Tammy and Joe. Nothing is more fun to them than if they get out a policy and then they'll start to read and then we debate it.
Well, that's great. They have that passion and that interest.
Oh, yeah.
Because let's face it, not everybody does. If they're in it for, well, it's a good business
Right.
to be in,
Oh, yeah, and then a lot of times, that's why an adjuster or somebody steps in, and even then sometimes you have to debate with them.
Right.
But because it is open sometimes to a little bit of gray interpretation.
Well, sure.
But for the most part, it's a contract,
Yeah.
and it spells it out pretty.
Which is to everybody's benefit.
Succinctly.
When it's spelled out.
It's spelled out, yeah.
Yeah.
There's very few
leave the
that
gray
are gray.
area. Yeah,
But it's
exactly.
the gray areas that they love to
Yeah.
get into
Well,
and debate.
I love that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And they do. Everybody there, it's like we have things set up, rules set up,
Yeah.
protocol that what we're going to look into for each policy.
Yeah.
Check the values of the homes, which is kind of scary right now with inflation.
Oh my goodness, crazy,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It's very crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But and going back to, so what year would that have been, Chris, when you and Ron you meet and then you buy the insurance company, like
Let's see.
80s?
Yeah, let's see, 83. I think it was about 93
I'm not okay. 93.
When I bought it.
When you bought it, but you
when I went into
yeah
insurance.
or when
78.
okay in the Lakes area or
I started at Druggers Mutual and then up here in about 1980.
okay, that's why I was trying to figure out when you came to
Yeah.
the Lakes area. So,
Yep.
and you were telling me before we got started here that, and we were talking about there's a man's wear. I mean, about every business in the Lakes area,
Yeah.
with maybe the exception of cosmetology or something, man ran the business.
Right.
And when you first started having customers come in, and with your name Chris,
Right.
they'd have small chat with you and nice,
And then say, "Where's your husband?"
Where's your husband?
Yeah, that happened many times. And
Yeah.
be like, "No, this is what you get. It's just me."
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot has changed from no computers to everything on the
Oh
computer.
my goodness, yeah.
And that's been a blessing because it's fast.
Yeah.
It's accurate. It's
Well, you can look stuff up. You can get information just
Oh,
like
yeah.
like that,
I know.
as opposed to like you were talking about, get out the books and.
Oh, I know.
and, yeah.
I mean, even now you look back and you think, gosh, before we could say, "Hey Google,"
Yeah.
or "Hey Alexa,"
Hey Siri,
Yeah,
anybody.
anybody, yeah.
And now we can do it all the time.
Yeah.
And that's not only a benefit to you, but certainly to customers, that you can do things speedy and
Right.
know that information is spot on, accurate, and
Absolutely.
again, keeping the gray area, toss that out the window.
Right. Yeah. And I know that, these businesses that want to go in direct and say, "Call me direct and do this direct," but there is a lot of things that fall into it that is way more than price.
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure that you have all the coverages. One little mistake,
Yeah.
I always think about a guy that even just on the price side of it messed it up, came in, was so proud of himself, wanted to tell me that he had gotten it for half price, but and I said, "Really?" And then come to find out, ours was an annual policy, his was 6 months, he was paying more. But
Yeah.
just from that little bit of a mistake on dates
Yeah.
to
That also-
coverage is a far larger
You don't want to find on
situation.
the tail end that, boy, did I do that wrong.
Yeah.
It cost
that
myself
you
a
didn't
lot more
look
money.
at water backup, or you forgot underground service, or on a condo you forgot loss assessment.
Yeah.
Just lots of things.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And that's just all comes in with the experience and your passion for it, and
Right,
and so
right.
forth. And when I think of, I've known you since almost the time that I moved here. It was a KUOO, and
Right.
And I think of not only yourself but your business, very, very active in the area. Whether you're sponsoring concerts on the Preservation Plaza or involved with winter games, and I could go on, and you've just you, and certainly Ron, being in his position with the City of Arnold's Park, also been very active in the Lakes area over the time you've been here.
We have, yeah, very much. And
Yeah.
I think, we love the area. I can't imagine living anywhere else. So.
Yeah, I think that all the time as well.
Yeah.
But
we go on vacation, we come home, we're always like, very nice to visit, glad to be home.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And weren't you? I'm thinking on outside the box here. But when I was at KUOO in Winter Games, weren't you kind of in charge of the talent show?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started the lip sync contest
The lip
for
sync.
kids.
That's what it
Oh my
was.
gosh,
yeah.
and it got out of control large. Yeah, it was hard. Little kids loved that because they could
Oh, yeah.
enter and act out the songs.
And they were the stars.
Oh,
and,
yeah. And then we had a little panel of judges. And the banks actually were so wonderful. The banks put up the prizes, but it was like, 100 for first prize, 75 for second, and
Yeah.
50 for third. But it didn't matter. You'd have thought they were winning,
And why I remember
car.
that. Yeah, a brand new car. But I think the first year, Mary Trainer and I, who's retiring,
That's right.
emceed that.
You did.
And we had so much fun. It was
You
down at the
did.
Okoboji High School gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. and
That was great.
We just had a kick. But you stay very active in the area, and because I see you sponsor different events, especially at the park in the
Right.
summertime. Sponsored by Walker Insurance Agency, and
Right.
and is that important to keep that involvement in the area and supporting things going on?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you want to be in a nice town, you have to help it make it a nice town.
Yeah.
Make it where you want to be.
Yeah, give it back.
Give
Yep, pay it
back.
forward, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so nice about everybody that works at our office.
Yeah.
They're all involved
Oh yeah.
in different things. I know Tammy's, she drives over, but she's head of her booster club, and Jen's on the P&Z in Milford.
Yeah.
I'm on the hospital board
That's right.
and the chamber board. It's just what you do.
Yeah.
It's not like you tell them, oh, you need to do this.
No.
It's just that's who they are.
But you lead by example
Right.
with all your involvement in the area.
Right.
When you're younger, you see and learn, and this is how you perform in a small
Right.
community,
Yep.
or communities as we
Yeah.
are around here.
They just did that fall thing at the chamber did out at the YMCA. That was just the cutest
Yeah.
fall fest thing, and huge. And we and many other businesses participated. But those are the kind of things that, if as a group you get involved in, to help it
Yeah.
help the town be a
Well, and you also
wonderful
learn a
place.
little bit, like, I was on the board of the YMCA in Camp Foster, and just having presence to go out for different events at Camp Foster, I learned all these things. I knew it was on the east side of the lake, and that's about all I knew about it,
That's so true.
And
You
I had
learn
the
a lot.
opportunity to learn what their mission was and what they did, and same thing with being on the chamber board and the
Mm-hmm.
hospital board, and I think it gives you an appreciation for the wonderful amenities that we do have in this area.
Right.
Yeah, because we're so fortunate.
Oh, we are. Yeah. If you want to be part of what's good, you need to participate and help. If you're just going to sit and complain, you really don't get a vote.
And you don't get to enjoy what we have here.
Right, yeah.
When you take advantage and really appreciate what we have, it's wow. You don't have to go very far to see communities that would love to have what we have around here.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's fun and it's exciting. You've
Very
loved your
much.
involvement in the Lakes area over
Absolutely.
the years.
Yeah.
And more to come. I mean,
More to come.
yeah, well, good.
Let
Yeah.
the good times roll.
And we roll better than most, I always say
Yeah.
around here. So,
Yeah.
well, wonderful. And just to let people know, Walker Insurance Agency, right there on Highway 71 in
We're
Arms
right
Park.
across the street from
Right there.
Tom's Plumbing.
Tom's
and,
Plumbing and Boondocks.
Boondocks, next door to Jensen Real Estate.
And right in the heart of it all.
We are. We're getting a stoplight right there. We're pretty happy about it.
Good to have that stoplight because they could stop. Oh, there's Walker
yeah,
Insurance.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, wonderful. I wanted to just come in and thank you for your years of service and for all you've done here and for the Lakes area.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, and we appreciate you and all you do too.
I just have fun. I just share.
You're our local celebrity.
I just do. You know what? I'm lucky. I have the opportunity to be involved in the area too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like too.
Yeah.
We're lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just us old Algona kids that
Yeah.
landed in the Lakes area.
Yeah. And you know, insurance has been a wonderful career,
Yeah.
and we're in a great spot, and we love to help people. Seriously, I mean, it's not just lip service.
Yeah.
And we want to continue to do that, and everybody there is on the same page. And
Yeah.
So.
Well, you keep me
Yeah.
insured, so obviously for many, many years, so obviously
Yeah.
we're happy with it as well. Chris, thanks for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, real
and
pleasure.
not on History Wednesday.
We're too young to be the focal point of a history show.
Yeah,
30 years. Then they could do a special on me. All right. Kris Walker again here, Walker Insurance Agency there in Arnold's Park. It's part of our Women in Action series here on Okoboji Broadcast. We thank her for joining us. We thank you for watching us right here on Okoboji Broadcast. Okoboji Broadcast from the studios at historic Arnold's Park Amusement Park is brought to you in part by the Scott Troutman State Farm Agency in Spirit Lake, Quest Wealth Management, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, advisor Jan Spielman, AJ Spielman, and Erica Wachholz, Ducky's Marine and Motorsports Repair in Spirit Lake, Bank Midwest, dream big, plan wisely, live well. Lakes Regional Healthcare and Avera Partner. Ruthven Locker at the Lake, where carnivores are welcome on Hill Avenue in Spirit Lake. Beck Engineering in Spirit Lake. Be Radiant Laser Skin Studio in the Okoboji Plaza in Okoboji.